Oh, Lord God, as we do gather in this hour tonight, we humbly confess our sins to you and humbly confess that oftentimes we feel that we're in charge, that we are the potter. Help us to realize that that's not the case, that you are the potter and that individually we are clay. We ask, Lord, this night that you would mold us and shape us to truly do your will, to be servants to you and to this great community of Tullahoma. Guide our every word and decision this night, that it may resound to your glory and honor. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, we're very pleased. You see we have a new face around the table this evening. We're very pleased that our honorary alderman is Miss Brooklyn Welch. Mr. Mathis, would you like to introduce Miss Welch?
I sure would be glad to. Brooklyn, she's a senior at Tullahoma High School. Not only that, but she has a GPA of 4.598. Brooklyn, that was similar to mine. I had a 2 or 3 times. She's also class ranked. She is 1 of 284. She is our valedictorian.
Yeah.
Brooklyn is involved in the National Honor Society as president, National English Honor Society as vice president, National Math Honor Society as secretary. She was a freshman cheerleader captain, selected to the UGA, which is our, one of our outstanding all-star cheerleaders, swim team captain, DECA state qualifier, elected DAR, Goodisonship Award, elected senior homecoming attendant, and she's dealt many with the humanity and assisted living programs and everything. One of those individuals you see, you never know that you're around her. She's very quiet, laid back, will be able to achieve whatever she wants to, like to attend Belmont College. I'm sure that will work out really well. And wherever she goes, whatever she does, she'll do well. Glad to have you.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Ms. Welch, one of the rules is if your name is called, you get an opportunity to defend yourself. So is there anything that you would like to add to Mr. Mathis's introduction? Or tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I've been on the swim team for 4 years now, and we just ended our season last Friday, so I'm pretty sad about that, but we've had a really great season. And yeah, we're just about to graduate. I'm really excited. Hopefully going to Belmont, like you said. Still waiting a little bit for some scholarship, but fingers crossed that it works out. So yeah, it's been a really great year so far.
Good.
Thank y'all for having me.
Sure. Is there someone in the audience you would like to introduce as well?
My mom is here tonight, Brenda Welch. She's our senior guidance counselor at Tullahoma High School. Yeah, she's always supporting.
Yep. Very nice. If you would stand at your desk, we have a certificate to present to you. January the 26th, 2015. So congratulations.
Thank you. Excuse me.
1, 2, 3, and one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right, now, Mom.
Got it.
Good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Mr. Mathis, how do you associate yourself with such?
Excellent.
Are you just sort of hanging around the hallways at the high school?
No, I'm pretty well one of their mentors. You opened up for that one.
He did say he wanted to be like you when he grew up.
Exactly what he said. His sons, that's what he said. He wants to be like me.
He needs to aspire differently. Well, we're very pleased that we've got several school board members here tonight, along with our Director of Education. So we're pleased that you're here. I I see one, two, how many do we have? We got 3 people here. We've got Mr. Welch is here. Miss Usselton, I don't see, is she here? No, I don't see her. Miss Johnson, saw her coming in. Dr. Lynn is here. So we appreciate you being here. This is actually School Board Appreciation Week. And so let me read this short proclamation. Whereas an excellent public education system is vital to the quality of life of our communities and to the economic development of our state. And whereas school board members represent a tremendous resource as local decision makers, diligently working to meet the challenges of a dynamic world while ensuring that every child receives the services needed for a quality education. Whereas school board members support and appreciate the efforts of students, educators, and administrators which have led to Tennessee becoming the fastest improving state with academic performance as measured by the National Assessment of Educational Progress. And whereas the men and women of our local school boards are elected by the people to make decisions most appropriate for their communities and deserve recognition and thanks for their countless hours of service to public education in Tennessee. Now therefore, I, Lane Curley, Mayor of the City of Tullahoma, Tennessee, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim the week of January 25 through 31, 2015 as School Board Appreciation Week in Tullahoma, and urge our citizens to join me in this worthy observance. So if the school board members would like to step forward along with Dr. Lawson, we'll recognize you, give you an opportunity. Say anything that you like. Congratulations.
Say it.
Yeah.
Can we say things?
If you'd like, yeah. Congratulations, sir. Yeah, congratulations. Doctor?
Thanks, sir.
See you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. May I recognize anybody that would like to say anything?
Can it be quick?
That's what we like.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We already have had our regular meeting met last week, and this is an awful nice certificate, but I would point out that the Bel Air staff and students presented us chocolate-covered strawberries, and white and dark chocolate was on those things. We've got a great school system, and Ms. Welch would be a great example of that, and the reception that you had several months ago to honor 5 merit finalists will back that up. The proof is in the pudding. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't also point out that there's a whole lot of school systems across the state, 140-something, 142, and a whole lot of those do not have the relationship with their funding body that we have, and we are eternally grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate all of you. Thank you. Okay, we're now ready for any comments from citizens in the audience that wish to address the board on any subject not later on the agenda. Ms. Sykes. Welcome.
Well, thank you for allowing us this time. My name is Sue Sipe, and I'm a fellow Coffee County from the other side of the town, over down in Hillsborough. I live out in a rural area. Been blessed to live here since 1977. And today I come to you to just give you an announcement, of something that's going to take place in our county, and also to invite you to attend. And we'll send out invitations too for a number of things. But there's a movement that's going across our country and has now hit our state, and fortunately, Coffee County. As we look at the news and we see across the world, across our nation, across our state, and even in our counties, we're hurting without solutions to a lot of the problems we face, in spite of the folks like yourselves who give not for the dollars you make for your job tonight, but rather for the passion that you have for your communities. Often hearing just the negative side from us citizens instead of the positive thank you for serving. But we've come to understand that we need more help. And so on March 8th, which is a Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, as is being done across our state in other courthouses, we'll be meeting at the historic courthouse in Manchester, our county seat, at 3 p.m. as a corporate body of people to come and to pray, to seek God, to turn from our ways and find out, what do you want, Lord, of us? I invite you all there. I don't believe that prayer can hurt anything. It can only help. And I want you to know, as a grassroots group of people in this county that pray faithfully, daily and weekly, not for our will or our way, but rather that God would impart unto each of you His wisdom and guidance. And so we invite you to attend that day and join us as we come together and try to bury hatchets, learn from our past, and move on, trying to learn how to love and care for each other in our communities in a better way. And I know for myself, I've got a long way to go. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sapp. Okay, anyone else in the audience? All right, seeing none, we will proceed then. Our next are board reports. Ms. King, you want to get us started?
Okay, thank you, Mayor. I've attended several things the past month since we haven't met in a while. We had a book signing from a former THS student that graduated herself, Jessica Roush Gibbons. And the mayor declared this Jessica Roush Gibbons Day on December the 28th, and she truly appreciated that. Her sister still lives here and some of her family, and so that was wonderful to be able to recognize her. So somebody you might be able to meet, Jackie. She's a wonderful author. Also attended the New Year's Eve Gala from the GFWC Centennial Women's Club, where they were raising money for Habitat for Humanity and South Jackson, the Light Up South Jackson campaign. And we had our meeting last week, and Chief Blackwell attended, and he was our featured speaker, and we sure do appreciate you coming and enlightening us on several topics and things in Tullahoma. I've attended the Planning Commission and also the Board of Education meeting, and I think they told you about what we did last week as far as recognizing their members. But one other thing, and that was Winston Brooks was recognized as the volunteer for the month for his involvement with the walking trails at East Middle and East Lincoln, and also his help with the 5K at Robert E. Lee, East Middle, and West Middle. So I want to thank you again for all you do for Tullahoma. So we really do appreciate it. And I also attended the planning and coordinating meeting, volunteered at East Lincoln, and just a couple of reminders. The Chamber Coffee is tomorrow at 11 o'clock at the Beechcraft. And then this Saturday night is the membership celebration at the Tullahoma Business Event Center. So that's all. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Since it's been a long period, Christmas period since we've met, and I've done quite a few things. I don't think a lot of them, I don't take the time to mention all of them, but did attend the Tullahoma Area Economic Development Corporation meeting, which was, it's always very enlightening. That's chaired really, well, I won't say who it was chaired by, but Mr. Tom Robinson always makes a great presentation and enlightened us on so many great things. Did attend the industrial board meeting and the industrial board luncheon, the county industrial board luncheon, which was held in Nashville last week. I've attended during that period. I missed the Martin Luther King celebration here, but I just got reminded of that a few minutes ago. But I made four more, so to try to make up for that one that I did miss. So I made one at MTSU, 3 in Nashville, and then the industrial board luncheon. But I had to be in Nashville quite a bit at that time, so that's one of the reasons I was out of town during that period. So it's just been a blessing did a book signing during that time also, along with about 19 other authors at the Coffee County Library. So I'm grateful for them for that opportunity, and that's about it.
Very good. Thank you, Dr. Blanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Since our last meeting seems quite a bit of time ago, I've been to a couple of housing authority meetings. The occupancy rate there is real high. They're doing a real good job there. They had their audit, and all those findings were good. Also had a Duck River utility meeting last week. Doesn't look like we're going to have to raise water rates. We were using quite a bit of water, and everything is going well there. We have some of the best tasting waters in 2 states, according to somebody. It's pretty good. Our water is not too hard or not too soft. It's just right. And Goldilocks would love it. Also attended the planning and coordinating meeting last Thursday. That's always informative, and I appreciate the mayor you putting that on. That's all I have.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Mathis.
Thank you, Mayor. I will not go back over what all of these, I mean, repetition is not always good. But we do have some situations at our high school right now that are unique in that this is the third year we've had a bowling team, and they made it all the way this time to the sub-state, and were beaten by 32 pins, and that's really, really, they did a great job. They had to go all the way to McMinn County, and in a 3-year period for them to do that is really outstanding. Our wrestlers right now, they qualified for the dual states, which happens to be something that we've only had 2 or 3 other teams to ever do in all the length of time we've had wrestling. So they will do Friday and Saturday night. They will be in Franklin, Tennessee to try to get a state championship in duels. Then after that, it'll be the state as far as team-wise, and that will also be in Franklin. That's all I have.
Good. Thank you. Mr. Stanton.
Mayor, thank you. I spent a couple of weeks in a neighboring state, and I can attest to the fact that the water here is far superior than the water my wife and I drank down there. So I will not tell the name of the state. But in any case, being a city liaison to the TUB board, I think it's appropriate to give a year-end report from TUB. So if you will, I'd like to give a few bits of information. First of all, LightTube now has 3,314 customers. That's a net increase of 93 for the year 2013, heading towards our goal of 3,500 customers. Number 2, LightTube is in the black now with positive net income in fiscal year 2014. We now provide gigabit fiber connectivity between all the Tullahoma City schools. We've completed the $5 million wastewater rehabilitation project, which is basically the sewer lines, the 50-year-old plus sewer lines around the city have been replaced, and the city is the beneficiary of a lot of new paved roads. So your neighborhoods, I bet many of them have been paved, and along with the great job Public Works does in doing a lot of our roads, the city roads, there's been a lot of paving going on in 2013. The average monthly churn rate, which is a new word for me, but basically that's the attrition rate for LightTube, the number of people that leave for whatever reasons, is 1.065 per month. And the average, the average for industry is 2% per month. So LightTube is doing quite well there. LightTube now has increased their HD channel count from 112 to 122. Also, another area that some of you, or many of you I'm sure are aware of, is the possible teamed effort of doing the water wastewater at AEDC by TUB. And TUB has submitted their final proposal to AEDC, so we hopefully will be hearing something in the near future about TUB doing the water and wastewater out at AEDC. Also, one other thing, this is the second year of a no additional rate increase for TUB customers. So all the way through 2015, there will be no rate increase. We have the fastest internet speed available. And also one other thing, for the second time, TUB held successfully community events including Public Power Day, National Drinking Water Week, and LightTube Movie Night at the Park, which continues TUB's efforts to be very much involved in the community. So we have great leadership from the board, actually from the general manager, Brian Skelton, and also his staff. So I just wanted to report on TUB, Mayor.
Very good. Thank you. Ms. Lindeman.
Thank you, Mayor. I, too, have been at a lot of meetings since we met, but there's a couple of things, 3 items I do want to bring to the forefront. The Arts Council is in the process of trying to arrange an after-school program in elementary school for plays. So we're going to be working on that, trying to get that going. The airport is real exciting, and they're in the planning stages of the AOPA, if I learned how to say that word, big fly-in that we're going to have in October, which the city's going to be involved in, our police department and our fire department and everybody. So there's going to be about 400 Now they're saying 450 airplanes coming in that weekend. Now, once they get done with that, that's a lot of tourism, okay? Then once that's over, the beach party starts the very next weekend out at the airport, which is about 400 planes. So we've got a real opportunity to put our showcase in the front. They had 11 cities they were going to pick to do this, and we got it. So I think it's fabulous. The airport board, Sharon Tinker, the chairman, has done a fabulous job of getting this all in, and John Glass. So now the last and the final thing is one thing dear to my heart. It's Light Up South Jackson. Kathy Orr and I are chairing that, along with the whole Centennial Women's Club. And like I said, you put 40 people to work and we can get a lot done. We're now taking bids on everything, so we should be moving by the time the weather gets pretty, I think, especially the outside things. So if anybody's interested, you can either let Kathy or I know, and we'll go from there. So it's a beautiful rendering, and we showed it, so sure. It's going to be a dream come true. So.
I was up here for a while, but I guess you've got it back down at South
It's
Jackson.
at South Jackson. In the office, if anybody wants to go by, it is really something. It's going to be a nice addition, so when you come over that viaduct, it's right there. So that's
right,
it,
as
Mayor.
you know, that's later on the agenda as well, and there's something exciting.
I know it, and I'm excited about that. Of course, you'll get my vote, and probably Renee's. But thank you.
Ms. Welch? Anything to add, anything you're involved with? Tell us about your day today.
Yeah, today our DECA Club, which is like a business club at the high school, went to Murfreesboro for the regional competition. And we compete in things like accounting and business management. And we took about 35 students, I would say, and every single person qualified. We went clean sweep, and we're all going to the state competition in March in Nashville. So that was a really great day. We also just started our homecoming week, so we'll have fun dress-up days all this week to prepare for the game on Friday. And it starts at 6, and the homecoming ceremonies are in between the girls and boys games. So everyone should come watch and support our basketball team. Our swim team is going to regionals this Friday as well. We have a fairly small team, and we had, I think, 10 swimmers qualify for regions, and I think 3 qualify for state, so that's really exciting. So they've had a great year along with our bowling team and our wrestling team.
Good. Good report. Thank you. Just a couple of things. I've received some letters unsolicited from individuals, and I want to share parts of those with you. This is directed towards Miss Jennifer Almacher. Thank you for your time and assistance through the site plan review process for our development on North Jackson Street. In my opinion, the overall review process worked well. It's great to have everybody in the same room to review plans and discuss comments at the same time. Our team works in many communities in and out of Tennessee, and not all jurisdictions offer this type of review. Staff was a pleasure to work with and responded to questions in a timely manner. Ms. Almacher was straightforward with responses, and if she was unaware of an answer, she took the time to research it and respond back. Being out of town, our team found the electronic reviews were very useful. Ms. Almacher and her staff were willing to participate in conference calls in order to discuss aspects of the project. Our team appreciates your assistance and is excited to be part of the community. I look forward to working in the city of Tullahoma. That was nice. So congratulations, Ms. Almacher. This is a letter I received. I don't think most people realize how much our city employees do to make life better for all of us. I certainly don't think we thank them for their service often enough. So here's my list. Thank you, Parks and Recreation Department, for our wonderful city parks. They are very well maintained and a great gift to residents. If you haven't used them, try one soon. I walk my dogs on the Greenway at Fraser McEwen Park every day. It's a wonderful walk, and the grounds staff does a wonderful job of keeping the park clean and neat. Thanks also for the community centers. Really great facilities and programs. Special thanks for the letter about insurance coverage about silver sneakers. Speaking of dogs, thank you, Tullahoma Animal Shelter, first of all for my own beloved dog, and then for all you do to care for and find homes for unwanted dogs. I appreciate your weekly ads in the paper, the information you put on Facebook, and the annual Bark in the Park. Thank you, Public Works Sanitation Department, not only for your dependable, well-run garbage pickup, but for all the things that I wouldn't have in other cities. You pick up my recycle items, my leaves, my brush piles, my lawn trimmings, and my junk. Thanks also for maintaining and repairing our streets and sidewalks. Even though I haven't had an occasion to use other city services, thanks to the police, fire, and codes departments, I'm really glad you're there if I need you. Thanks also to the support and administrative staff for making all these other departments work smoothly. Isn't that nice?
Very nice.
Now, the last paragraph, however. Finally, no thanks to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for denying cost of living raises to these fine employees. They should have a higher priority than they seem to have. So we're working on that. That is signed Miss Sarah Fitzgerald. One last one, this is regarding Chief Blackwell. I wanted to wait until after the holidays to write this letter regarding the vehicle accident that took place on December the 18th. I witnessed the event in front of the Shell station on Wilson Avenue. One car was attempting to turn into the gas station. Another car came around in the corner on Cedar Lane and collided with it. Shortly afterwards, I called 911. Officer Justin Bryan arrived first at the scene, followed almost immediately by Officer Joshua Yates. These conscientious officers sized up the situation and immediately checked with the drivers to make sure they were okay. Both officers were very efficient and professional while maintaining a pleasant demeanor as they took charge of the situation. I'd like to commend these two officers for the way they handled this incident. Not only did they quickly reduce the hazards at the scene, but also reassured those involved, alleviating a stressful situation. They were not only very friendly, but demonstrated a genuine concern for the people involved in the accident. I feel the public has lost sight of the fact that police commit their lives to protecting us on a daily basis, and that some of the recent media coverage has been unfair to these dedicated public servants. I also believe Tullahoma is one of the finest police departments in the state, if not the U.S., and the chief should be complimented for his leadership abilities. Please thank the two officers for the way they conducted themselves and represented the city of Tullahoma. So, all that very nice. Speaking of the police department and our fire department, a recent survey by this organization out of California ranked Tullahoma as the 18th safest town in Tennessee. So that's good.
Yay.
Okay. Report from the city attorney. Mr. Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. My last meeting tonight. I've enjoyed working with you all. I can't say any more other than what I said in the newspaper article about the fact that that you all run a well-oiled machine. You're very effective and very good at what you do. It's been my pleasure and my privilege to act as city attorney over the past 6 years, and I leave not with a with a frown because I'm sad, but with a smile because it happened. So whoever comes and fills these shoes, I'm sure they'll find the same courtesies and the same professional organization that I have found over the past 6 years. But this particular board here is an outstanding board. You all work together well. You all have buried all the controversy that I witnessed when I first came in here about 6 years ago. It has been an absolute pleasure to watch you all work, and continue to do that. Keep Tullahoma strong. Thank you.
Dedication and for your service. Mr. Morrison has conducted himself in a very professional and a very first-class manner. Often, as city attorney, he's had to deal with demanding situations that require quick decision-making and thoroughness, and he's done so, and we appreciate that very, very much. And you've helped us get the city government get through, and the community of Tullahoma through some tough challenges, and we all appreciate that. And we wish you the very best in your future endeavors. I know you'll continue to do well, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Anything else to report? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Baltz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to add on behalf of the staff that we appreciate Mr. Morrison's dedication and hard work with staff. He does a lot of work that is more on the staff level that doesn't quite get to the board level, and he's been very diligent in his work in that manner. I also want to remind the board that on March 2nd and 3rd that there will be the TML Legislative Conference. I think we've had one or two board members say that they would like to attend. So if you're interested in going and have not contacted either myself or Robin Morrison, please do so pretty quickly, because I think if you're planning on staying overnight, I think the hotel's filling up pretty quick. I'll probably just drive up both days, so if you're not interested in staying over, certainly welcome to ride with me if you want to get up early enough. So that's all I have.
Okay. All right, thank you. We're ready to proceed. We have 6 items on the consent agenda. Item 1501, minutes of the December 9, 2014 meeting. 1502, agreement with Arnold Air Force Base. 1503, agreement with Citizens Tri-County Bank. 1504, memorandum of understanding with Integrated Criminal Justice Program. 1505, change order number 2, D.W. Wilson Community Center. And 1506, soapbox derby agreement. Is there a motion to adopt the consent?
So moved.
Second.
Proper motion, properly seconded. Seeing no objection, consent agenda items are considered non-controversial in nature, and there's complete review of each of the items in the package. So all those in favor of...
Mayor, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
About the change order for D.W. Wilson Community Center. I guess I need to ask Kurt about this. Have they pretty much covered all the possible things that could bring about a change order, or should we anticipate possibly another one? That may be
Mr.
difficult.
Baltz or Mr. Glick?
Difficult to tell, or Mr. Baltz, certainly.
Well, I mean, in any construction project, you always have the potential for change orders. That's why we try to put a contingency in the project to cover those types of items as they come up. One of the change orders was actually necessitated due to a construction flaw that dates all the way back to when the pool was first constructed in the 1970s. So basically, we're having to rectify something, that goes back 40 years. And so, but with any construction projects, you try to minimize them, but they do come up from time to time. I can't assure you that at some future date they won't have another one.
Okay. And one other question, what percentage of the contingency fund's been used, basically, given the $19,000 that this is costing us?
Well, basically, we have, I think, about 25 to 40,000 left, something like that, if I recall correctly, as far as in contingency.
So we've got a cushion, somewhat of a cushion.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody clear? We ready to vote? All those wishing to vote for the consent agenda as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. Under old business, 14-118, appointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals. That is simply an announcement to be made tonight. If anyone is aware that you would like, if you know someone that would like to serve on that, please ask them to contact City Hall, speak to Ms. Morrison, and they can complete a citizen participation form. Mr. Bonds, can you outline for the group, just in general terms, what's the responsibilities of the Board of Zoning Appeals?
The Board of Zoning Appeals has 2 primary functions. One has been a long-standing function that's been around since inception, and another one is as a result of the stormwater ordinance that was passed last year. As far as the Board of Zoning Appeals, there are certain times in which either a special use or a conflict comes up in regard to the zoning ordinance, and this is a body that can hear those disputes or address issues that have come up as part of construction. They only meet as called. The other part is a recent activity is they would also act as the Stormwater Board of Appeals. And so the Stormwater Board of Appeals would be a body in which, say, if Public Works Department goes out and cites a contractor for violations of certain sections of the stormwater code, then if they disagree with the findings of Public Works, then they can go to the Stormwater Board of Appeals before going through a court process or something like that. So, but this body only meets as called, but it is an important body, and we first announced this in December, and we've not had any takers on it. It is a voluntary position, so but it is a good board if you're interested in municipal government or serving your community. This is a good place to cut your teeth.
And there are actually 2 positions open, so if anybody, again, has any interest, please take the necessary steps.
That's correct.
So
when Ms. Snyder passed away, that, you know.
Right. Okay, we have a couple of items of new business. First is Resolution 1636. Let me offer to read parts of a memo that I think will explain what the resolution is all about. But tonight we will vote to approve the initial resolution for the remaining financing for the new indoor and outdoor aquatics complex. And as part of it, I suggest we add several important, long overdue capital projects. Monies are available to fund this 20-year note. The proposed additional projects to be funded, many with public-private partnership component, include Ryder Stadium. Ryder Stadium is a unique historic structure that is over 60 years old. Phase 1 to upgrade the 1,400-seat Ryder Stadium was completed several years ago and addressed several structural issues. I propose we complete the project and fund improvements to include painting the stadium and light poles, installing a new press box, replacing the netting, and relamping the lights. Ryder Stadium is used nearly every day from early spring to late fall, and these improvements will return the stadium to a level of which we can all be proud. The THS baseball boosters are already planning to construct an accessory structures in the area and are raising money for additional improvements. The June 13, 2013 edition of the Tennessean included a front-page photograph titled Tullahoma's Treasure with the caption, Ryder Stadium and those who play there have been a source of pride for Tullahoma. I don't know if any of you remember seeing that or not, about a year and a half or so ago. Very nice to be recognized regionally like that. The South Jackson Civic Center is another unique historic structure in Tullahoma. Many volunteer hours have been spent maintaining this structure. It also is used nearly every day year-round. Members of the Centennial Women's Club have stepped up and taken the lead to refurbish the center with their Light Up South Jackson campaign. I commend them for their initiative and efforts. I propose we match their fundraising efforts up to $100,000. This is a city-owned building that has been leased to South Jackson Association, and it's important that the city assist in keeping the structure in a functional and safe condition. Nearly 1,000 citizens regularly use the Johnson Lane Recreation Area, including the soccer complex. It is time to take this complex to the next level and add athletic lighting to the 2 large middle fields. Adding lights will allow more and larger participation, plus make the complex more attractive to host tournaments. In addition, if you've been to the complex lately, you know the parking area is in need of repair. It has never been paved and the gravel is loose with many large holes. I propose we pave the parking areas. We are in negotiations now with the 3 soccer leagues to see their ability to assist in the yearly payments for the upgrades. The soccer associations are also negotiating for improvements to the Rogers Group soccer complex. Finally, people love their pets. I suspect you have had requests, as I have, to site a dog park in Tullahoma. The challenge has been to find a location and to fund the park. It suggested we locate a pet village at Wagoner Park as part of this issue. Our pet village will include fencing, a water source, exercise equipment, and more for both large and small dogs. Once we establish the Friends of the Tullahoma Animal Shelter, members will fundraise and add amenities to our pet village. Naming rights are available. This would be perfect for a civic club, much as we did with the Sunrise Rotary Disc Golf Course. Hope you agree these are much-needed and long-deferred facility improvements that are necessary investments in Tullahoma. These improvements will continue to distinguish Tullahoma as a unique destination and benefit citizens for many years to come. And I urge your support. These projects will go a long way towards reaching our goal of retaining, recruiting, and encouraging young families to choose Tullahoma to live.
I move for adoption of Resolution 1634.
Second.
36, I'm sorry.
1636.
36.
Second.
Proper motion, properly seconded. Ready for discussion? Any discussion?
Just a clarification on Grider Stadium. When you go up into the stands now and you sit down and you look around you, below you, behind you, what have you, the metal foundation of the stands has really rusted big time. That's not mentioned here. Is that something that's going to be fixed, Mr. Balls, Mr. Clay?
Yes, they'll be looking at all the repairing the rusted areas, be sandblasting, painting, the whole 9 yards. We just, didn't put a complete checklist, but
Fine.
obviously anything that affects the structural integrity is one of the things we want to look to upgrade.
Excellent.
I do want to add that you're adopting the initial resolution tonight. At your next meeting will be the authorizing resolution. The state last year changed the law to where you don't do those in the same meeting. Years past, we would do these in the initial resolution, then the authorizing resolution in the same meeting. They now have got that where it's a split process. So you'll see a similar resolution at your next meeting.
Okay.
Other discussion?
I just want to say thank you. These are projects that we've needed for a long time, and I think it's great. And all I have to say is now we need your money so we can match this. So.
If 40 women can do it,
That's right.
You can do it.
Yep, we can do it.
I'm excited about it.
I can see same Tullahoma as it is right now. I can see a lot of advancement throughout the city. New businesses coming in, new places to dine, trying to work on places for these young ladies to shop and these older women to shop, which they need and we need as men also. But one thing that you have to remember is that anytime you have structures and facilities, older facilities, those have to be maintained. So we can do whatever we want to, but unless we go back and we have to do something to these to make them very, very nice and very appealing to those individuals coming in, we will never be able to get where we need to be. And that's what these need to do, because all of them are icons throughout the city.
Just for clarification purposes, the $100,000 for Light Up South Jackson is it's not a gift of $100,000 to the campaign. It is a matching gift.
Well, you're going to be matching it, so just be ready.
I'm fine. I just want to make sure
Right, girls?
the public understands that this is based on
Not a
matching. So
handout.
if you all match, if you all raise $99,000, the city will give you.
We will get out and
$99,000.
beg for the other 1,000, and I expect a check from you, Mike.
You will get it.
Okay.
Other discussion? We ready to vote? All those wishing to vote for the resolution 1636, vote green, opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much. Okay, 1507, set municipal election date. You see on page 68. You'll see on page 69 a letter from Mrs. Davis, the Administrator of Elections for Coffee County, requesting notification of the Lord Mayor and Alderman that we set an election date. And staff has suggested that we request an election for the first Thursday in August 2015, which is August the 6th, and authorize staff to notify the Coffee County Election Commission office. Is there a motion? Proper motion by Ms. Keene. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Duncan. Any discussion? All those wishing to vote for the motion is presented, vote green, opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. Appointment to Tullahoma Airport Authority, you see that on page 70 of your agenda. As you know, General John Miller has done an outstanding job in his service as a member and chair of the Tullahoma Airport Authority. His term is expiring the end of next month, and he is not eligible for reappointment. So we want to use this as an opportunity to announce that anyone that has an interest in serving on the Airport Authority, again, to contact Ms. Robin Morrison and complete a citizen participation form, and we'll make that appointment at the next meeting. Is there, let's see, staff recommends number 1. Let's get a motion that we will make an appointment at the next meeting.
Okay, may I also bring a thing up that they were interested in taking the Airport Authority back to 5, because 7 of us, 2 months, we couldn't even get a quorum. So that, I don't know what the procedure is on that. Do they have to write you a letter, or?
Traditionally, what would happen is that the Airport Authority itself, as a body, would need to take some action requesting the city to look at that potential change. If we receive such a letter, then our next step would be to have it reviewed, because a lot of the laws governing airport authorities are not local laws, they're set by the state.
Okay.
So you'd have to look to see whether or not you can change it, and what procedure you'd have to go through. So,
okay.
But typically the first step would be for the authority as a board first to take that first step.
Okay. So, I mean, that's fine, but I would like to, we'll get it done by the end of the week. We'll find out what is. So if we pass this, can it be with?
I don't know. I was a little bit ahead. I don't think we need to pass the motion that we're going to appoint somebody at the next meeting. So I don't think we need to do that.
Okay.
So if you want to take that message back to the authority, that if they want to request and send a letter to us to look into it.
It's just they're having a hard time getting quorum.
Yeah, but that's I defer to the wisdom of this group, but that to me is another issue than reducing it to 5, because that even make it harder to make a quorum, So you never know.
Yeah.
We just need to encourage folks to serve, and if they can't serve, then we need to find someone to do that.
I will report back to Sharon,
Okay.
and she can go from there. How's that?
All right. Very good. Any other new business to come before the board? Seeing none, we will adjourn and go into the beer board portion of the agenda. First is the consent agenda, the minutes of December the 9th. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda? Proper motion? Mr. Duncan, seconds. All those in favor of the consent agenda as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Ms. Lindeman, if you're supportive of the consent agenda, vote green.
Yes.
If you're not, vote red.
Do what now?
We're voting.
The beer board consent agenda.
That's what I did. Just trying to confuse me.
No,
I'm sorry. I just had to say it to Kathy Orr and our president, Catherine.
I just didn't want you to miss a vote if you didn't want to miss a vote.
No, I'll be here.
I thought you were going to put
I'm not like
a beer
Congress.
tap in your floral shop on Anderson Street.
Okay.
So she voted for it.
All right, we have one item of new business. Beer permit off-premise application, Walgreens, 700 North Jackson Street. Mr. Jerry Pruitt? Yes. Mr. Pruitt, welcome. How are you? Good, thank you. Thank you for being here. The board will see that on page 77. What has triggered this? Yes, Ms. Golden.
Please note that this application is being submitted since Walgreens has had a corporate change only. Walgreens Boots Alliance, Inc. is now the owner of Walgreen Company, and they requested that they put all the new paperwork through. And Mr. Jerry Pruitt's been manager for several years, so.
Very good.
I move to accept the beer permit application for Walgreens on North Jackson Street.
Second.
Proper motion, properly second. Any discussion? Mr. Pruitt, do you have anything to add? Good. Thank you for being here.
You're responsible.
Yeah. All those in favor of the motion, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. Ms. Golden, any new beer board business to come
No,
up?
sir.
Okay, so with no other beer board business, we'll stand adjourned. Let me just mention very briefly about this cleanup initiative. I won't read this, but, people that want to invest in our community, whether it be residential or commercial, they want to invest in a clean community. And I'm convinced 99% of the folks that live here want to live in a clean community. So I just wanted to make you aware of this initiative and encourage your support. And we'll be holding a public meeting to, outline some suggested strategies that we try to have as clean a community as we can. Public Works does an excellent job with the resources they have, but it really needs to be more of a community effort. So solicit your input at the appropriate time.
I think it'd be a good idea if we adopted some of the roads around it and have like a captain in that subdivision
Yeah.
or street.
Yeah.
Maybe some civic clubs take on Jackson Street or whatever, get together and lay out a thing. But, that seemed used to work really well as the adopt a street.
Now, Mr. Balson, I believe, had suggested a year or so ago that we add the stars every time to the sign, every time
That's a great
little
idea.
peer pressure there. So I think that's worked well.
That works, and then the chamber and also, they put a star on there each time we clean up streets that we have adopted.
Let me mention this. Does the Board of Mayor and Aldermen want to adopt a street?
Sure.
Sure. That's good.
You want us to take yours, Jimmy?
Sure, if you need to.
Or out here?
I would rather have something in town where more people,
I think it would set a good example.
What about downtown? If we took downtown, the chamber and the parking lots?
Our Public Works
Oh, they do that?
department can provide a list of streets that are up
There you
for
go.
adoption,
Good.
and then y'all can pick one.
Good.
You
Let's
pick
do
a
that at the
street
next
for us,
meeting.
Mayor.
Let's do that. We'll do that. Okay, any other business? Ms. Welch, thank you for being here tonight. Anything? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, sir. It was very interesting to see what goes on over here.
Good. All right, thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you so much.